North Dakota is no stranger to harsh winters. The storm of December 2025, locally dubbed the Great Prairie Burial, has shattered records that have stood for over half a century. A massive Colorado low-pressure system moved northward with unusual velocity, colliding with a stagnant, ultra-cold Arctic vortex sitting directly over the Canadian border. This collision created a meteorological pressure cooker that dumped historic amounts of snow across the state. By the evening of December 20th, 2025, officials confirmed that several counties, particularly in the Red River Valley, received between 40 to 55 inches, 100 to 140 centimeters, of snow in less than 96 hours. The storm underwent bombogenesis, where the central pressure dropped 26 millibars in less than 24 hours. This rapid intensification turned a standard winter storm into a winter hurricane. Sustained winds were recorded at 55 miles per hour, 88 kilometers per hour, with gusts peaking at a staggering 82 miles per hour, 132 kilometers per hour, in open prairie areas. The combination of heavy falling snow and re-lofted snow created ground blizzard conditions. Visibility remained at absolute zero for 48 consecutive hours, making any form of travel, even on foot, potentially fatal. The North Dakota Department of Transportation took the unprecedented step of closing every major artery in the state simultaneously. The entire 350-mile stretch of Interstate 94 from the Montana border to Fargo and Interstate 29 from the South Dakota border to the Canadian line were officially closed on December 17th. Despite the closures, hundreds of motorists were stranded in the early hours of the storm. The North Dakota National Guard was deployed using small unit support vehicles, specialized tracked vehicles, to rescue families trapped in buried cars. Hector International Airport and Bismarck Municipal Airport suspended all operations as runways became indistinguishable from the surrounding landscape. Ranchers in the western part of the state faced a desperate struggle. The death-chill wind speeds were high enough to cause instant frostbite to livestock. Many ranchers reported snow drifts high enough, reaching 20 feet, to allow cattle to simply walk over 6-foot perimeter fences. With rail lines blocked by massive drifts, the movement of grain and Bakken oil products came to a total halt, causing a ripple effect in North American energy prices and agricultural markets. Heavy ice accumulation followed by extreme winds caused over 500 high-voltage transmission towers to buckle. Approximately 60,000 residents lost power during the peak of the storm, with actual temperatures hitting -35 degrees Fahrenheit, -37 degrees Celsius. The situation became a life safety crisis. Emergency warming centers were established in National Guard armories, fueled by industrial-grade generators. The state has formally requested a disaster declaration from FEMA to cover the astronomical costs of snow removal, which are estimated to exceed $100 million for this single event. The North Dakota 511 system saw record traffic as officials used every digital channel to plead with citizens. Stay inside. If you leave your house, you may not be found until the thaw. As the storm system finally begins to move toward the Great Lakes on December 20th, the focus shifts to a grim recovery. Preliminary estimates suggest the blizzard has caused over $900 million in economic losses, including property damage, livestock fatalities, and lost productivity. Meteorologists are already issuing warnings for March 2026. The massive snow water equivalent, currently sitting on the Red River Basin, poses a historic flood threat for the upcoming spring thaw. If using a generator or idling a vehicle, ensure the exhaust pipe is clear of snow to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. Do not attempt to clear flat roofs without professional assistance. The 2025 snowpack is unusually dense and heavy. Continue the buddy system to ensure neighbors, especially the elderly, have adequate heat and food. A sudden atmospheric shift turned the I-29 corridor into a graveyard of twisted metal. While North Dakota motorists are accustomed to winter driving, the white wall event of late 2025 was different. A rapid surge of Arctic air met a residual moisture plume from the south, creating a localized ground blizzard that reduced visibility from 5 miles to 0 inches in less than 90 seconds. The I-29, which serves as the primary north-south artery for international trade between the US and Canada, became a trap. The flat, open prairies surrounding the highway allowed wind gusts of 75 miles per hour, 120 kilometers per hour, to whip fallen snow into a blinding vortex, effectively erasing the road from the driver's sight. A commercial semi-truck carrying heavy industrial machinery lost traction on a patch of black ice disguised by fresh powder. The rig jackknifed, spanning all northbound lanes. Within 2 minutes, the chain reaction began. Passenger vehicles, traveling at reduced but still dangerous speeds, approximate 45 miles per hour, began slamming into the trailer. Because of the howling winds, drivers could not hear the crashes happening just yards ahead of them. The pileup grew to involve 65 vehicles, including 3 fuel tankers and a Greyhound bus. The bus, attempting to swerve, flipped onto its side, trapping 22 passengers inside as temperatures plummeted to minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 31 degrees Celsius. Fire engines and ambulances from Grand Forks were unable to reach the site for nearly 3 hours. Snow drifts on the I-29 median had reached 4 feet, blocking emergency crossovers. First responders were forced to use heavy-duty tow trucks and snowplows as physical shields to protect paramedics from being hit by incoming vehicles that were still unknowingly entering the crash zone. Life flight helicopters were unable to launch due to extreme turbulence and icing conditions, forcing critically injured patients to be transported via tracked snowcats provided by the North Dakota National Guard. As of December 20th, 2025, the North Dakota Department of Health has released the following figures. 12 individuals, including 3 children. Most deaths were attributed to blunt force trauma upon impact, but 2 victims succumbed to hypothermia while trapped in their vehicles awaiting rescue. 18 people remain in intensive care at Altru Health System in Grand Forks and Sanford Medical Center in Fargo, suffering from crushed limbs, internal hemorrhaging, and severe frostbite. Meanwhile, the city of Bismarck became the epicenter of a historic meteorological event. A rare atmospheric block over Greenland forced an aggressive polar vortex low to descend directly into the Missouri River Valley. Unlike typical fast-moving storms, this system became stationary, drawing immense moisture from a lingering southern jet stream and converting it into a relentless, high-density snowfall. By midnight on December 19th, Bismarck had officially recorded 42.5 inches of snow in a single 72-hour window, surpassing the all-time records for any December event in North Dakota's history. The snowfall was accompanied by a brutal Arctic outflow. Temperatures in Bismarck plummeted to a base low of minus 28 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 33 degrees Celsius. However, the wind was the true antagonist. Sustained winds of 45 miles per hour, with gusts reaching 65 miles per hour, created a wind chill factor of minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 50 degrees Celsius.
My flight was canceled due to a North
At these temperatures,
Dakota
exposed skin freezes in less than 5 minutes. The city, normally bustling with holiday shoppers and government activity, turned into a frozen, silent landscape, where the only sound was the howling of the wind against the legislative towers. All runways were closed as the snow accumulation outpaced the capacity of high-speed industrial blowers. Hundreds of travelers remained stranded in the terminal for 3 days. The NDDOT issued a no-travel order for the entire Bismarck-Mandan metropolitan area. Even heavy-duty snowplows were forced to retreat during the whiteout hours between December 17th and 18th, as operators could not see the blade of their own trucks. Despite the intensity, the Montana-Dakota utilities grid remained largely operational, although 5,000 homes in the northern suburbs faced temporary outages due to transformer failures caused by the extreme cold. With ambulances unable to navigate the buried streets, the Bismarck Fire Department and the North Dakota National Guard utilized snowcats and Oshkosh heavy-duty tactical vehicles to respond to medical emergencies. In a widely reported story, a National Guard unit successfully transported a woman in active labor from a rural property outside Bismarck to Sanford Medical Center by navigating through 10-foot drifts that had blocked the main county roads.
Places. I'm up, kind of up by Horizon Middle